For many of you, this is your last semester in college. Soon, whether you like it or not, you will have to go out into the world and apply the skills that you have learned here at TAMUCC. The focus for this lecture is a reminder of some of the most important things to consider on how to get a job. The steps to getting a job sound really easy. All you have to do is search all potential sources for vacancies, write a cover letter, build a resume, ask people to be professional references, rock the interview, start working, and live happily ever after. This sounds really easy, but each of these steps is complicated. I'm going to skip the first step, searching all potential sources for vacancies, and I'm going to start with the big three: writing a cover letter, building a resume, and asking people to be professional references, and then we'll circle back to the others. Many of you have written cover letters and resumes before, so I won't spend much time on these as I think it's mostly a reminder and a review. A cover letter is important because it conveys to potential employers information regarding your specific qualifications, attitudes, and even your personality. The cover letter builds up your resume with mention and elaboration of possessed skills and previous work experience. And it also shows specific interest in the posted position and hiring organization. Some people like to use the acronym AIDA, A-I-D-A, which stands for attention, interest, desire, and action when writing a cover letter. In attention, you want to make the employer want you. What can you do for the organization, and what is your interest in that position? What's the interest? Point out the strengths in the resume. What sets you apart? Why should they hire you as opposed to somebody else? Desire. A good cover letter is one that ties in the resume and may cause desire to be piqued in the employer. It sounds weird to say, but you want people to want you. Many employers are bombarded by applications, so what can you do to make them want you? Action. At the end of the letter, in a concise manner, state the wish to follow up with a call to affirm reception of the application materials. Some good suggestions and pointers for writing a quality cover letter include writing the letter specifically for the posted position. Address the letter to the person who is screening or interviewing you. It is usually good to call ahead and ask who this person is, and don't automatically assume genders from a name. I have a friend that's female, but her name is Kevin, and another whose name is Charlie. Using the person's first and last name along with credentials can help to avoid making a mistake in addressing the letter. Use good white standard paper. Never handwrite the letter except for your signature. Proofread it. I cannot stress this enough. Pay attention to detail. Make sure that you have the whole name of the business, especially if it is a university. It is easy to be counted out before the interviews start by forgetting details like addressing the letter to New Mexico University rather than New Mexico State. They're two completely separate universities. Also be aware of mascots. I've had more than one cover letter that had the wrong mascot for the hiring university. You wouldn't apply to A&M proper and tell them you can't wait to be a javelina. Avoid flattery and cliches. I would also avoid name dropping unless it has something to do with an important event on your resume. Follow up with a call to make sure that they received your materials. The resume is all about that first impression. It usually takes employers only approximately 10 seconds to decide whether they want to continue reading or not. Make sure that you put your identifying information on every page just in case your pages become separated. Put your name on top. Include an address, telephone number, email address. I would not put your social security number or a personal picture, although that's common in other countries. Some suggestions to design a quality resume include having your resume be clean, clear, and perfectly typed with easy-to-read fonts. Use active and consistent language. Start with personal information and tailor the resume to the position. Promote yourself and the skills you have in a concise manner. Do not use weird colored paper, odd size paper, any sort of smelly paper. Use non-standard fonts. Use unclean or unreadable print, or make handwritten corrections. Unfortunately, I've seen all of these recently. Some professionals debate on whether or not to include the references in a resume or wait until they are requested. It is completely up to you. Get permission from people being referenced. Include names, credentials, addresses, phone number, email, and affiliation for each of your references. In my opinion, it's better to include 3 to 5 references unless it specifically states not to. Many employers do not want to have to contact you for references. It just wastes time. So I would just provide them. But that's my personal opinion. You can do what you think is correct. Also, think about the job in which you are applying. If all you have are high school athletic trainers and you are applying for a college job, that isn't a very strong showing. If possible, use people in similar positions to the job that you want. Searching for a job can be very time-consuming. So what tools are available to you? There's internet job databases such as the NATA website, monster.com, careerbuilder.com, and simplyhire.com, among many, many others. There's also printed options, although this is becoming a lot less common. Local newspapers, local nationally published papers, and membership magazines may also print job postings. Also, job fairs and national meetings, such as the NATA state meetings, the NATA district meetings, or the NATA national meetings, all host job fairs for people who are looking for jobs. Networking is also important. Talking to the right people and asking about job vacancies can be very effective. Before you start searching for vacancies, I think you have to ask yourself a few questions. What setting do you wish to apply for? There are pros and cons for each setting. There isn't any one right or wrong decision, but understanding where you would like to be can help you narrow down when searching vacancies. Also, I think it's important to ask yourself what benefits you wish to have available upon your hire. This includes things like health insurance, dental insurance, vision, life insurance, paid vacation or unpaid vacation, bonus opportunities, retirement plans, and also furthering education costs. These usually will not be discussed until the interview and/or an offer has been made, but it's still important to keep these things in mind and to kind of know what you're looking for when you're looking at comparing jobs, because it can be overwhelming and confusing. One resource that might be helpful are potential employee benefits. This is provided by the NATA. I will provide you with this website on the Blackboard page for your reference. Also, searching for vacancies. Determining what environment do you wish to live. Do you want something with 4 seasons, something that has winter, spring, summer, and fall? Or something that has more 2 seasons, summer and winter? Or like South Texas, we have hot and not so hot. Do you want something with moderate seasons or heavy seasons? The type of place that you wish to live in. Do you want to live in a metropolitan area, the suburbs, or an urban area? Or even a rural area? Cost of living. What are the transportation costs? The cost of food, electricity, housing, and possibly even taxes. Once we've been contacted, the next step is this scary interview. There are different types of interviews. You could have a screening, a contact, or an on-site interview. A screening is a type of interview that may be done at a district conference, and it may lead to a more in-depth interview. Sometimes these are also done over the phone, so be prepared when people call. Contact, to determine a possible match between the candidate and employer. This is typically done at a mutual location. This could be a conference, a job site, or over the phone. An on-site interview is similar to a contact interview, but it lasts longer and you meet more of the organization. This is usually the most formal of the interviews. However, I would prepare to be formal in all of these interviews. If you are in a place where you cannot answer the phone without it being a little bit loud or obnoxious, I would let the phone go to voicemail so that when you are talking to a potential employer, you're doing so in a professional manner. Also consider reimbursement. Some organizations will pay the cost of the interview process, so keep receipts. This includes stuff for transportation and meals. But do not put unusual items onto a reimbursement statement. I was on a hiring committee once that received a reimbursement receipt for $45 worth of M&Ms. That is not a good reimbursement item, so please make sure that you keep things professional. Other important aspects of the scary interview. You may be asked to negotiate salary and benefits. That's always a scary question. Well, what are you worth? Do your research before discussing these. Find out what others in similar positions and experience levels are making in the area so you aren't asking for unrealistic salary expectations. Networking helps a lot in this aspect. Please realize that salaries vary greatly within the United States, so having contacts in different areas can help you be more informed. Make sure to research the organization. What's the turnover rate? If people are leaving constantly from the facility, does that mean that things are good? What kind of financial or political situation are they currently in? Is the position brand new? Will you be able to build a program, or is that something you even want to do? Ask around about the management philosophy in which you'll be working. While you don't have to love your boss, it does help when you can get along. Another thing that can help greatly is networking. Remember, the world of athletic training and even physical therapy is extremely small. It doesn't take very long before you realize that we're all pretty connected. Start small and local. Be diligent and hardworking. Show your worth. Expand little by little. Make sure to give yourself opportunities to meet new people by going to state, district, and national meetings. They can be very helpful. Think of the introduction and small talk as small interviews. You never know if that person is actually looking for somebody to hire or not, or they may know somebody that is looking to hire, and if you make a good impression, you may have a job opportunity. First impressions are huge. During our first class, we will cover the syllabi and I will answer any questions regarding the class expectations. We will also discuss your semester projects, so if you have any questions, you can ask them at that point. During the first lecture, please be prepared to take a quiz when you come to class. Please come to class with a job posting or announcement for future employment that you would prefer. If you would like to work in a high school, please make sure that you find a high school position. If you'd like to work with professional sports, try to find one of those. Whatever job you want to work in, whether it's athletic training or something else, please come with a posting or announcement so we know what we're looking at. We will need this job announcement to participate in an in-class activity, so please come prepared. I will see you all soon.